So good day everyone. So today I will discussing the law enforcement agencies, bureaus, office, department of government, the definition and function. So first, Philippine Drug Enforcement Agency, PDEA definition. The Philippine Drug Enforcement Agencies is lead anti-drug law enforcement agency responsible for preventing, investigating, and combating any dangerous drugs, controlled prosecutors, and essential chemicals within the Philippines. So the function is suppresses the supply of dangerous drugs, implements dangerous drugs board policies, controls and regulates the legitimate use of dangerous drug and controlled prosecutors and essential chemicals. Philippine Coast Guard or PCG. Definition: the Philippine Coast Guard is the country's vanguard against the entry of unsafe foreign vessels into the country through its port state control. The function is mandated and responsible to perform maritime search and rescue, maritime law enforcement, maritime safety, marine environmental protection, and maritime security. Bureau of Jail Management and Penology. It's called Bureau BOGMNP. The definition: the Bureau of Jail Management and Penology is an attached agency of the Department of the Interior and local government mandated to direct, supervise, and control the administration and operation of all. The function: BGMP is mandated to direct, supervise, and control administration and operation of all districts, city, and municipal jails nationwide with prang task of safekeeping and development of inmates. Land Registration Authority or LRA. The definition is an agency the Philippine government attached to the Department of Justice responsible for issuing decrees of registration and certificates or title and registered documents, patents, and other land transactions for the benefits of landowners, agrarian reform beneficiaries, and the registering public in general. The function: the land registration is authority is mandated to issue decrees of registration and certificates of titles and register documents, patents, and other land transactions for the benefit of landowners, agrarian reform beneficiaries, and the registering public in general. National Bureau of Investigation or NBI. The definition: the National Bureau of Investigation is an agency of the Philippine government under the Department of Justice responsible for handling and solving major high-profile cases that are in the interest of nation. And the function is the National Bureau of Investigation (NBI) undertakes efficient detection and investigation of crimes and other offenses against the laws of Philippines upon its own initiative and as public interest may require renders technical assistance upon request in the investigation the detection of crimes. Land Transportation Office or LTO. The definition is the Land Transportation Office is an agency of the Philippine government under the Department of Transportation responsible for all land transportation in the Philippines. It aims to be a frontline government agency that showcases fast and efficient public service for a progressive land transport sector. Function. Functions of the LTO include the inspection and registration of motor vehicles, insurance of licenses and permits, enforcement of land transportation rules and regulations, and adjudication of traffic cases. Anti-Money Laundering Council or AMLC definition. The Anti-Money Laundering Council is the agency of the government of the Philippines that is tasked to implement the provisions of Republic Act number 9160, also known as the Anti-Money Laundering Act. The function is in relation to its power to investigate money laundering. The AMLC, upon order of a competent court, is authorized to inquire into or examine any particular bank deposits or investment that are deemed related to an unlawful activity or a money laundering offense. Commissions of Election or COMELEC. Definition: the Commission on Election (COMELEC) is an independent constitutional body mandated to enforce and administer all laws and regulations relative to the conduct of elections, plebiscite, initiative, referendum, and recall for the purpose of ensuring free, orderly, peaceful, and credible elections. The function. The Commission on Election (COMELEC) is the premier guardian of the ballot. Its principal role is to enforce and administer all laws and regulations relative to the product of elections, plebiscites, initiatives, referendums, and recalls. Bureau of Internal Revenue or BIR. Definition: the Bureau of Internal Revenue (BIR) is an attached agency of the Department of Finance. It is tasked to assess and collect all national alternative revenue tax fees and charge and enforce all forfeitures, penalties, and fines connected therewith. Function: the Bureau of Internal Revenue is mandated by law to assess and collect all national internal revenue taxes, fees, and charges, and to enforce all forfeitures, penalties, and fines connected therewith, including the execution of judgments in all cases decided in its favor by the Court of Tax Appeals and the Ordinary. Bureau of Immigration or BI. The definition is the Bureau of Immigration, also known between 1972 and 1987 as the Bureau of Immigration and Deportation, is the immigration regulatory and control of body Philippines. And the function is acts as the primary enforcement arms and of the Department of the Justice and the President of the Philippines in ensuring that all foreigners within its territorial jurisdiction complied with existing laws, assist local and international law enforcement agencies in securing the tranquility of the state against foreigners whose presence or stay may be deemed threats to national security, public safety, public morals, and public health, and act as chief repository of all immigration records pertaining to entry, temporary sojourn, admission, residence, and departure of all foreigners in the country. Philippine Ports Authority or PPA. The definition is the PPA is the primary government agency concerned with the planning and development of the country's seaports. Established in 1974, the PPA character was amended by Executive Order 857, which is expanded its functions to include the integration and coordination of ports nationwide. And the function is PPE fosters cognitive diversity in an open, interactive work environment to facilitate the free exchange of ideas. Leadership provides mentorship for junior staff with an eye developing the leaders of the future, and in general endeavors to establish an office that is seen as good career move for emerging leaders. Bureau of Correction or Bucor. The Bureau of Correction is an agency under the Department of Justice that is charged with custody and rehabilitation of national offenders, that is those sentenced to serve a term of compression meant of more than 3 years. Then the function is the principal task for of the Bureau of Correction is the rehabilitation of national prisoner. The Bureau carries out of the following tasks to carry out its mandate: confine persons convicted by the courts to serve a sentence in the national prisons. And that's all of the Law Enforcement Agencies, Bureau Office, Department of Government, the function and the definition.